Hi guys, welcome back to math. Today I just wanted to do a review of stuff that we basically already learned last week in our bar introduction to bar graphs lesson, but I want to just go over the specific graph that I'm assigning you today and the questions and just review the strategies for how you would solve each question before you go and do it on your own. So the graph that we're working with today is favorite drinks. So on one side, they give you the list of drinks that the students voted on. And then down here is the number of kids who voted for each drink. So we have chocolate milk, white milk, fruit juice, and water. And down here, the bar graph goes by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So each line in between is 1. So if it's not a multiple of 2, this one is like 11. So water got 11 votes. Fruit juice got 9 votes. White milk got 3 votes. And chocolate milk got 7 votes. Okay, so now that we know how many each got, we're going to go down and we can answer the question. So I have the questions right here so that we can continue to look at the graph. And on your question sheet, on your Google form, I attached an image of the graph with the question, so you'll be able to refer back to the graph without having to go to any separate attachment. So the first question asks us, how many kids chose chocolate milk as their favorite drink? So they just want us to look and see how many kids voted for chocolate milk. So that one's easy. We just look at the graph and see what number it lines up with, and we know what comes between 6 and 8, 7, right? How many kids voted in all? So how do you figure this out? So I'm not going to give answers anymore. I'm just going to talk about strategies. How do we figure this out? So that's going to be a 2-step problem. The first thing you need to do is figure out how many kids voted for each. So you need to identify how many voted for chocolate milk, white milk, fruit juice, and water. And then you would add up all those numbers together. So you would need to add up these 4 amounts to get the answer of how many people voted all together. So that's what that question is asking you. All together, how many kids voted? Number 4, it says how many more kids voted for water than white milk. So remember, we talked about more than problems. Whenever it asks you how many more than or how many less than, it's asking you to compare the two and figure out the difference between them. What's the difference in number between the two? So what you do first is you figure out how many voted for water and how many voted for white milk. So 3 voted for white milk and 11 voted for water. And what you need to do is you need to do the big number, take away the little number. You always subtract. Big number, take away little number. So you'll do 8, take away, 11, take away 3 to get your answer. So it's always figuring out how many voted for each, and then subtract to figure out the difference. Next one says, how many more kids voted for fruit juice than white milk? So again, that's a more than problem. So you'll do it the same way. Identify how many voted for each, and then subtract to find out the difference. Next question. If 2 more kids voted for fruit juice, how many votes would fruit juice have? So it's saying if fruit juice had 2 more votes, what would that number be? Then how many would they have? So you just have to figure out how many votes fruit juice has. So step 1, figure out how many votes fruit juice has. And then step 2, add 2 to that number. And then you would know how many you would have with 2 more votes. So for example, if they said, how many votes would white milk have if 2 more people voted for it? I would go to white milk and I would see it has 3 votes. And I would say 3 plus 2 for the 2 more votes, and that equals 5. So you just add 2 to however many votes it has to get the answer. And the last question says, if 2 more kids voted for chocolate milk, would it be the drink with the most votes? So they want to know, if chocolate milk had 2 more votes, would it be the most popular drink? So you figure out how many it would be with 2 more, and then figure out if that would be the most votes out of all the drinks. All right, so now that we reviewed, you guys can get to work on your own assignment. So like I said, the graph is posted on the questions. So go ahead, review the video, and get to work. Remember to take your time and be careful with your calculations. All right, good job, guys.